I got this letter in the mail today. It was from Fu, but Fu died. How is this possible?
When I poop, I see the town. I see Silent Hill.
Can it be true? Can Fu really be waiting for me at Silent Hill?
You promised to take me there again after you got a bunch of views. But you never did. Well, if you don't go there again, you're gay.
If I don't go, will I really be gay? Well, I can't take any chances at this point. I mean, shit. No! 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 Silent Hill Homecoming. It's a game I spoke about in my review of Silent Hill Downpour. At the time, I had assumed that everyone knew that Silent Hill Homecoming was the worst one, but there was actually quite a few people in my comment system pushing back at that idea. And typically I would just write that off as people misremembering how shit the game was or how good the game was either way. I mean, hell, I'm sure you liked Barney when you were a toddler, but you wouldn't watch that shit nowadays, would you? But the truth is, I haven't played the game since I was a dumb little idiot either. Yeah, I haven't played this game since I was a teenager, back when it first came out. I guess it's important to talk about my history with this game, because it wasn't all negative. Back in the year of 2007, when I had a little life left in me, I would spend a lot of my time perusing the internet on library computers. This was during the summer, so they were doing a lot of the E3 announcements, and I was excited sitting on XPlay's website and refreshing the page to find out all the goodies. And then I saw it.
They say war is hell, but there are worse things. War changes you, and nobody back home could ever understand. They never understood me. They say you can't go home again, but they're wrong. I just don't want to.
Silent Hill 5. There was no gameplay shown. All we knew was that it was about a soldier coming back from war, and it was going to be more psychological horror instead of the cult horror that Silent Hill had become at that point. Well, we learned that, and that it was going to be exclusively on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and I didn't have either one of those consoles. So began Operation Buy an Xbox 360, because PS3s were too goddamn expensive. I mean, seriously, this is fucking car prices. What the fuck were they thinking? I worked my ass off doing any job I could get. Yard work, babysitting shithead kids, black market organ transfers. I was doing anything to get that goddamn Xbox 360, but then I finally got it. A brand new, used Xbox 360. And now all I needed to do is wait. I picked it up day one, slammed that bitch into the disk drive, and 6 hours later, I had beaten the game. All I felt was shame and regret. But this was 16 years ago. Many games have come and gone, and many more games would bring me deep regret in buying.
Big, giant, sweaty, dangling horse testes just swinging in the goddamn...
And well, my memories have already failed me once. So let's go and look into it. Is Silent Hill Homecoming really the worst Silent Hill game? Or is it just one of the bad ones?
Just having bad dreams of you. They all seem so real and so...
The game opens with our character being strapped to a gurney and pushed around this shitty fucking hospital. I mean, really, can they not afford fucking lights here? Alex cries out for his missing squad mates, but the doctor completely fucking ignores him.
Where's my squad? Are they here? Did they make it?
Then the doctor decides it's best if we split up. Teehee.
Oh! You're hurting me. You're bad. Bad boy.
After breaking out of the straps, we'll find a memo note on the hospital door. It talks about a lobotomy that is to be performed in room 206, which, as far as I know, is our room. Joke's on them though, I never had a brain to begin with. And oh my lord, I have to say, this is really, really, really fucking dark. I know one of my complaints in the last game was that it wasn't dark enough and that you could basically see everything. But this is not the way to fix it. I mean, I have my fucking flashlight on and I still can't see shit. We'll bump our way through the darkness until we come across a young boy named
Josh, is that you?
Josh, who our main character seems to know. Unfortunately, he's coloring way too hard to hear us. These damn kids and their ADHD. And the door is locked, so we can't get in. To unlock the door, we'll need to find the key to the keypad. We'll find the first part of the key on this X-ray, and then if we head to the back, we'll find an ICN unit with a crying burnt baby doll in it. There, we'll locate the other half of the X-ray, and we'll get our first jump scare, I think. I feel like you can slam.
Oh.
That might have been scary if I could have fucking seen it. We put the code in the keypad, but before we're able to talk to Josh, he runs off deeper into the hospital.
What
Right.
even is that? The
Bugs
guy's-
and the guy's torso, I think.
Oh, I thought it was like a possum or something. That would have been way scarier.
A possum?
Yeah, because it's like, how the fuck did a possum get in this hospital? That makes me realise how derelict it is, you know? The possum's even in there. Of course there's going to be people in there. Scary at all.
Like dead people, yes.
Yeah, but like if it was a dead possum, you'd be like, God, you know, there's wildlife in here too. You know what I mean?
Following after him, we'll find a knife stuck in a mirror, and then we'll get our first enemy. And god damn, would you look at that? Ooh la la. These here are the Dark Nurses. And I think they come from the movie, or at least they look like the ones from the movie, rather than the bobblehead nurses from Silent Hill 2. I guess the symbolism here is that Alex is in a hospital and nurses work in hospitals, and they're hot because Alex is, horny, I guess?
Dude, there's totally a creepy monster over there.
Damn! Oh, don't worry about this, dude. I got this. I see you have arms and legs. I too have arms and legs. Isn't that funny? We have so much in common. Damn, bitch, you nasty. So, hey, like, I'm gonna go with this lady over to an apartment building over there.
But like, what about all the monsters and shit, man? What am I supposed to do?
You'll be fine. This begins our first combat encounter, and, it's pretty pathetic. This combat is basically all stun locks, so if you just keep swinging, they have no chance of fighting you. And before you start thinking this is a fluke, we do it to 3 more nurses in the next room, with all 3 of them there fighting us, or at least taking turns to.
Well, at least she's waiting behind her, so, you know, at least she can take turns. It's nice.
This is pathetic. This is legitimately pathetic. What the fuck was that even?
For like a zombie woman, she's got the perkiest, roundest set of tits I've ever seen in my life.
I want you to take note of this because this will become an issue later. You can't really be scared of an enemy when they're so damn easily beaten. We head deeper into the hospital and cut through some meat flaps, or we'll run into another enemy, and they're super gross. These are called the Swarm, and they're like a combo of a leech and a roach. And as far as the meaning behind them, I think it's because bugs are icky and nasty. Fighting these little bastards is actually really fucking annoying. They latch onto you when they get close, and the only way to get them off of you is to mash the hell out of the button it shows you at the top of the prompt. But outside of this first time, you'll actually be able to just stomp them before they even start flying, so they're super piss easy too. We locate the 2 halves of the split up nurse, then we'll catch up to Joshua once again locked behind a fence.
Busy. Go away.
What are you doing here?
I want my toy.
He won't let us leave without his damn toy, so we stick our hand into a bloody meat hole. Oh, did I mention this game came out in 2008? Yeah, it came out in 2008. We hand over the nasty, bloody rabbit, and rather than Joshua thanking us for finding his shitty little toy, he runs off again. Fucking zoomers. The gate opens up randomly and we follow Joshua again to an elevator where we'll be stabbed by Pyramid Head Sword and wake up in a truck. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. The truck driver's a familiar face. In fact, I believe it's Travis. What the fuck are you still doing here, you son of a bitch? This is the main character from Origins. I guess after all the crazy bullshit that happened to him, he still drives trucks near Silent Hill. Oh, and I do mean near Silent Hill. This town he's dropping us off at is actually called Shepherd's Glen, and it's a town adjacent to Silent Hill, we'll say. Don't go too far, Travis. You're next on the chopping block. As we enter the town, we get a map of the city that circles around our house. I think this is a map based on Alex's memories and not really the map of the town. Otherwise, I'm not really sure where the hell he got this map from. Now, Silent Hill Downpour ought to take some notes from this game here. This town is quiet and empty, and there's a thick fog over everything. This town feels more like Silent Hill than any part of Silent Hill Downpour, and I do think that's worth commending at least. While heading home, we'll pass the town hall where we'll run into Judge Holloway, who is suffering from background character syndrome. Really, what the fuck? Did they model her out of fucking Play-Doh? She says we should stop by and say hi to our mom and her daughter, Elle.
Wants to catch up with Elle. I'm sure she'd love to see you.
Sounds like Alex got a main squeeze waiting for him on the outside. We finally make it home, and we head inside to find there's no one waiting for us. No cool party banners, no welcome home messages on the wall, nothing. We head upstairs to hopefully search for one of the family members for Alex, then find his old bedroom. It's still the way it was when he left, I guess when he was a child. And on the bunk bed, we'll find a flashlight that'll show a flashback to when him and his little brother stayed in that room.
I had a bad dream. Never mind. It's nothing.
Look, take it. If you get scared again, just turn it on. Okay?
Thanks, Alex.
Sure.
And one odd thing I noticed is that his little brother's blanket is still torn up and tattered, just as it is in the future. After the flashback, we'll find that behind this old bookshelf is a hidden closet with a map of all the rooms in the house. I guess Alex has no problem remembering where everything is in the town, but a big problem remembering where everything is in his own fucking house. Typically, I would actually dig into this as being a really stupid thing, but this is actually quite foreshadowing of what we'll find out at the end of the game, so we'll hold on that for now. Heading back downstairs, we'll run into Alex's mom, who has left a bunch of wet spots all over the floor, which, to be honest, happens to a lot of people's moms when I'm around. Oh my! She tells us that Alex's father is out looking for his brother Josh.
Where is everybody? Where's Josh?
I don't know. Your father went to look for him, but now he's gone. Everyone's gone.
We take this old busted revolver from her and tell her that we're gonna go out looking for our brother too.
Look, I'll find him. I had this dream. I just have a feeling he's in trouble. Don't worry about it. I'll find Joshua.
We head down into the basement to find the whole damn thing is flooded. I guess it wasn't my charm that made those wet spots in the floor. I have to say, this water looks like shit, by the way. Stepping into it, it hardly even reacts to our footsteps. But just as I'm bitching about the water, we run into a new monster. This creature's called the Lurker, and honestly, it looks pretty damn good, especially in this opening scene as it creeps out of the shitty water. Unfortunately, looking creepy and fighting good are two different things. Good combat, guys. Good combat, guys.
That was a really creepy fucking enemy as well.
And we can beat the shit out of this guy again, just like all the other creatures, by spamming the knife attack. I mean, this is just pathetic. At the back of the basement, we'll find a water pump, a note, and a garage door opener. In the garage, we'll find an empty gas can, so I guess we'll have to fill it up. We slide under the fence next door and into this children's park, then head into the alley where we'll find, I think, Travis's truck, siphon his gas as a big thank you for driving me all the way here, then go all the way back to the basement just to reach under the door and slide a latch. Are you shitting me? It is not a good sign when we are at the start of your game and you are already padding it out this fucking bad. What the fuck? We do all of this and gain access to the backyard and kitchen. In the kitchen, we can actually access this old tape that I found upstairs, which will give us a little more insight into the home life of Joshua and Alex.
Josh! What are you doing? Relax, Dad. We're just making a radio show.
Alex, go downstairs.
Why?
Just do it.
Fine.
Am I in trouble?
No, of course not.
Why are you yelling?
I'm not yelling at you. Listen to me, Josh. Don't you think this is a little too silly for you? Do you want to end up like Alex, playing all this make-believe?
I don't know.
Alright, from now on, just let Alex play with his own friends, okay?
It seems their father did not want Joshua and Alex playing together. I guess maybe Alex might have taken the short bus to school, I think is what they're implying there. He should hang out with his own friends? Very odd. That's enough of sitting at home, though. It's time to go looking for Joshua ourselves. Heading into the alley next to Alex's house, we'll enter the cemetery, where we'll see a guy digging a bunch of graves. As we make our way through the cemetery, you'll probably notice that there's a bunch of barking and growling and snarling coming from every direction. And once we climb down these weird cliffs, we'll run into exactly what's been making that noise. These creatures are called ferals, and they look like skinless dogs. Yuccarino. They actually seem fairly intimidating when you first encounter one. Unfortunately, like every other goddamn enemy in this game, they can be stun-locked immediately, making them completely fucking useless. And because they don't attack all at once, you can actually fight 3 of these at the same time and stun-lock all of them. You think I'm trapped in here with them? They're trapped in here with me!
Whoa. That is animal abuse.
This cemetery level is not it, Chief. This looks like more of a Gears of War level than a damn Silent Hill level. There's an amount of subtlety that needs to be reached with these kinds of things. Cemeteries in Silent Hill games should be more like normal cemeteries, but with just that old bit of rot to them. Not the entire place is shifting up and down like fucking E-Day happened.
Shit.
To leave the cemetery, we'll have to collect 2 halves of an emblem. You'll collect 1 half at the beginning of the level, and the other half at the end of the level. There's not really any kind of puzzle to it. I guess the hope is that you don't look around and you forget the first emblem and have to go all the way back, thus padding the game even more. Heading down the street, we'll come across the police station and find out that Alex's dad was the sheriff of this town. And we also learn that other people can see these monsters. We'll find that one of the other police officers slammed into one of those skinless dogs we saw earlier. Back on the main road, we'll run into a lady putting up a bunch of missing people posters up on a wall.
Damn it!
You always were a klutz. You okay?
Alex? Oh my god, Alex!
This here's Elle, and she's the daughter of that Playdoh lady we ran into earlier. We ask her if she's seen Josh, and she'll tell us that a lot of people in this town have been going missing.
Yeah, well, I'm not here for long. I'm looking for my brother. You seen him?
No. I haven't, Alex. I'm sorry.
Jesus, what the hell is going on here?
I don't know. But every day there are more flyers to put up. Every day more people disappear.
I had no idea.
She gives us a radio, and I guess Alex doesn't really give that much of a shit about her because he doesn't even warn her about all the monsters we've been fighting up until now.
Before.
If I hear anything, I'll let you know.
Thanks, Al.
Alex, I hope you find what you're looking for.
Exploring the rest of the town, we'll come across a junkyard run by a guy named Curtis, who is an absolute treat.
Hello. Can I ask you something?
I'm busy.
Hey, you're Curtis, right? Hey, man. How's it going?
He tells us if we have any questions, we should talk to the mayor, who was the guy digging up corpses in that graveyard earlier.
What I really need is some information. Have you seen my brother Joshua?
You want to talk to the mayor. He knows everybody's business.
He also trades us that shitty broken revolver for a working pistol.
Soldiers gotta have a gun.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'd like a fair trade.
What a nice guy.
Pack up and leave so somebody else can come in here and steal my stuff?
Leaving the junkyard, we'll hear some communication on the radio before it's rudely interrupted.
Hello? Alex Shepard.
Alex Shepard? I thought you were
Hello? Hello?
This creature here is a smog, I think is how you say it. Smog? Like the goddamn dragon from that movie? This creature is a lot like the lying figure from Silent Hill 2, and is exactly like the straitjacket creatures in Silent Hill Origins. The only real difference here is instead of spitting up acid, it spits up this toxic gas stuff. It's also one of the hardest enemies to kill. They take a whole hell of a lot of hits to take down, and are able to use their chest cavity to knock you on the floor. This in combination with their gas cloud, which does the most damage of any creature as far as I can tell, makes this a hard as hell enemy to fight, which becomes even harder when you're fighting them in close quarters because you can't even dodge any of their attacks. Now it's time to head back into the cemetery to find that creepy ass mayor, where they've now spawned in a bunch of those smog creatures. At the end of the level, we'll come across a child's grave. It's been locked using one of those sliding puzzles that you would get as a child that I absolutely fucking hate, by the way. Thankfully, this one's fairly easy to do. We only have to slide all of them to one side and slide the lock down. Opening the coffin, we'll come across a watch that says "Forgive me," and thank God not a corpse of a child. I mean, really, Alex, what the fuck did you think was gonna be in this? Then Alex starts to come down with a super migraine. Let this be a lesson to all you people out there. Make sure to hydrate before going on long ass walks like this. Get you some balls energy. That's the best way to hydrate. Drink balls. We awaken in Silent Hill and get a glimpse of Josh, who is running into a nearby hotel.
Hey! Josh!
We locate an axe and bust all the boards down to head inside, just to catch a glimpse of the Zoomer running up the stairs. Behind the elevator, we'll find a key that we'll need to use outside to do a circuit breaker puzzle, which is a guessing game, I suppose. You just keep sliding the wires back and forth until all of the lights come back on. Back inside the hotel, we'll now be able to call the elevator and follow Josh up. Riding the elevator up, we'll get a bunch of new creatures attacking us from every fucking side. These things are called needlers, and there's no other way of describing them other than stating that they look like they shit their head out their ass. Fighting these things is just as annoying as fighting the damn smog creatures. They don't take that much as far as damage is concerned, but they do take a hell of a lot to get past their stupid spikes on the front. Those damn spikes can block bullets, they can block attacks by your melee weapons, they can block everything. Which, hey, wouldn't be a problem if you dodge to the side and smack them down, but because you're fighting most of these in close quarter combat, getting them beside them is almost impossible. In the hotel, we'll hear a creepy old lady singing and talk to her through a hole in the door.
Who are you?
I wish I could remember.
She tells us that she can't remember anything and that she needs help getting her memories. We weirdly enough get these dialogue options in the game. I haven't talked about them up until this point, but I think it might be important to mention them now. We get these dialogue options sometimes when speaking to characters. Here it doesn't matter at all. No matter how we respond to this old hag, we have to help her no matter what. However, towards the end of the game, we're going to get 3 choices that will directly affect which ending of the game we get. In the hotel, we'll have to find all of these postcards laid about the place. These contain this old woman's memories and will tell us a little story about her later. Navigating the hotel, we'll come across a bunch of rubble that will lead to the worst thing about this game, hands down. Yep, you've seen that right. That's fucking Pyramid Head. Now, for those who may not know, Pyramid Head was created specifically for Silent Hill 2. It's a manifestation of James's guilt for what he has done. So why the fuck is he here? But Poco, that's not Pyramid Head, that's the boogeyman. Look, name it whatever the fuck you want. We all know that that is goddamn Pyramid Head. He might look more like the movie Pyramid Head, but it's Pyramid Head none the fucking less. The odd thing about it is I don't know why he's here. He only shows up 4 times in the game. He's not a boss fight, he's not stalking you in the background. And mind you, 4 is the amount of times he shows up if you get a specific ending, which means it's even less if you do not get that bad ending. Look, I know that a lot of the monsters in this game look like reused monsters from other Silent Hill games. That can be overlooked. But reusing the main enemy from a prior game because you're too lazy to come up with your own is complete and utter bullshit. And I'm not even the only one who thought so. The game's producer, Tom Hewlett, thought it was incredibly lazy to keep reusing monsters from other games, making quote-unquote a big stink about it. And he's right. No matter how you feel about this game, one way or another, reusing monster designs like this makes it feel like a goddamn cash grab.
There's a guy behind you again.
Huh? Yo, man, I can see you back there.
No,
I can see you.
You can't see
Yes,
me.
yes, I can. I'm looking directly at you behind the trash can. Whatever. Once we grab all the postcards, we'll learn of the old lady's past. She used to be married to her husband, and she was very faithful until he got sick. While he was in the hospital, she had an affair with the mayor that we're looking for now. Her husband died, and she felt great regret for this. It's a nice parallel to James' story from Silent Hill 2, and shows that when you feel a great amount of regret, the town can call out to you, as she is not kidnapped as the other townspeople are. In return for the postcard, she'll give us a key. The key that opens the door that Josh ran into. Heading there, and we'll finally see Josh face to face.
Please help me. Josh, don't let me fall.
But of course, Alex whiffs it, and his brother is lost once again. We'll wake up in the dining hall and head into the garden room next door. There, we'll find the mayor, who is completely fucking wasted. When we ask about his son or our brother, he calls us a freak and tells us to get away from him.
I'm not going anywhere with you, you freak. Can't you take a hit and get the hell away from me?
Alex then hands him the watch that he found from the grave, and this seems to sober up the mayor for a moment.
You shouldn't have come back, Alex. Times are bad.
People don't trust me anymore. I can't protect them.
Protect them from what? What did you do?
Something has come. Taken everyone away. You can't stop them. They'll get you too.
A monster emerges from the sand and crushes the mayor right in front of us. This leads to our very first boss fight of this game. The creature design itself looks pretty goddamn freaky, with this nasty bloody mass coming from its mouth. Unfortunately, the fight itself is kind of a letdown. To fight this creature, you'll have to slap these nasty meat sacks that are hanging from the ceiling, and the only attack that this creature really has is to punch you when you do this. Conveniently, a bunch of bookshelves spawned at the same time the enemy did, and you can use these bookshelves to stun the enemy anytime it tries to punch at you. Then, during its second phase, it'll be on the ground and the bookshelves will despawn, meaning that you're open to its attacks. But once again, if you attack the arm, it'll stun him, and you can keep hitting him over and over and over again. After killing the freaky monster, a hole will appear in the ground, and dumbass Alex looks inside of it and falls right in. Alex sure is a goddamn klutz. We then come to in a jail cell, with seemingly no way out. Until that is the best character in this game shows up.
Deputy Wheeler.
Well. Back in the world of the living.
How did I get here?
I put you here. Haven't quite made up my mind about you yet.
Wheeler, come on, you know me.
This beautiful son of a bitch is Wheeler, and he's the best damn character in this whole fucking game. We tell him that the mayor is dead and that some fucking weird-ass monster killed him, and instead of questioning us further, he tells us he sees the monsters too and frees us immediately.
So you've seen the creatures too? We should get moving. I'm not sure it's safe here anymore.
He tells us that we need to find Dr. Finch, who may know something about what's happening in the town too.
Listen, I think I know someone that can help us out. And the doctor is tied up in all the same shit as the mayor.
Doc Finch?
Yeah, they all know a hell of a lot more than they're letting on. And I'm sick of being in the dark.
Then the entire police station is assaulted by these fucking weird... What the fuck is that? We run past these naked hammerhead shark men, making it into the back offices. We'll hear Ellie on the radio calling for help. It turns out she's being chased by something, and we tell her to meet us in the parking lot.
Alex! Wheeler! Come in! I'm on my way to the sheriff's station. Something's after me!
Elle, head to the parking lot behind the station. We'll meet you there.
Wheeler then gives us a shotgun. Did I tell you how much I love this motherfucker? Ooh! Then we get split up by some shit coming through the ceiling. We now have to fight our way to the back of the police station to get to the parking lot. These new monsters we're fighting are actually called schisms, which look like nasty, fucked up hammerhead shark things, I guess? They aren't extremely hard to fight, they're easy to dodge, and for the most part can be spammed just as any other creature in this game could be. We head out back of the police station and finally meet up with Elle. Who is gonna have some serious fucking whiplash after that one. Now we have to fight a new creature. These things are called Siams, I think. And I think they're called that because of Siamese twins. I'm not really sure. It may have some implications for Elle and her sister. I don't really know. You can basically glean anything you want from it, but honestly, I think they just made it because it looked cool. It's basically this big, giant, hulking thing with a lady strapped to its back. The hulking thing will knock you on your ass if you're hit with it, and then if you get behind it, the little lady on the back can stick you with her high heels. And this creature is actually not horrible to fight. It has clear moments when it's going to attack you so that you can dodge it. It doesn't feel unfair to fight. The back lady there even shows off when she's going to kick at you, so you can dodge that too. It can't be spammed because it's always on the move, making it one of the more fun creatures to fight, I would say. After killing the Siam, we'll notice that we're surrounded by those hammerhead guys and decide to head into the sewers. And I have to say, these sewers fucking suck. This is far from the first time a Silent Hill game has had a sewer level in it, but this one is by far the worst, especially in design. I mean, look how clean these fucking sewers are! You'll have Elle with you the entire time you're playing through this level, but thank God they made her invincible, because boy wouldn't that have been a pain in the ass. Throughout the level, you'll be lifting up these gates, Elle will go underneath, and then lift the gate up for you, and then you'll continue on through the level. You'll raise and lower some water levels, but there's nothing more to it. There's a lot of downtime, in fact. I thought there would be a lot of speaking back and forth between Elle and Alex, but there's really nothing like that here. Would have been a perfect time to go over their history or something.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, God, Jesus Christ, you scared the fuck out of me. I was just talking to my camera guy.
Yeah, I got hungry earlier and he was on me. To be honest with you, I'm feeling a little more hungry now.
Oh, God, no! Towards the end of the level, we'll raise a gate and Elle will go under, and we'll have to fight off a bunch of enemies. It's not too difficult. Once we deal with all the enemies, we'll hear Elle scream, and then the gate will randomly open. Inside, we'll find a bloody mess and a radio. I wonder what happened to Elle. Exiting the sewers, we call Wheeler on the radio to let him know that Elle is missing, but I'm pretty sure she's fucking dead.
Did you find Elle?
Yeah, but we got separated. I'm looking for her now. Where are you?
I'm just now leaving the station to find Fitch. Look, we need to stick together. Meet me at his office.
Then he tells us that we need to find Dr. Fitch, which honestly is a perfect excuse for us to go visit the doctor. I mean, Jesus Christ, we're gonna need at least 6 tetanus shots here. Heading towards the doctor's office, we'll find a trail of blood. Following it, we'll find Dr. Fitch, who is all scratched the fuck up. He threatens us with a scalpel and tells us to get the fuck back before he runs into his office.
Whose blood is that? What have you done?
Stay away from me!
Following behind him, we'll lose him in his office, but we will find a little girl's room with a locked box in there. It seems to be Fitch's daughter's room, although I'm not really sure why she has a room inside the doctor's office. That's odd. Heading into the next room, we'll find a small key and a note from a psychologist. It's addressed to Dr. Fitch, and it seems he's missed multiple appointments, which might explain why he's gone so fucking crazy. Unlocking the small box with the tiny little key shows us a doll. I guess it belonged to his daughter, Scarlet. Looking at the porcelain doll causes Alex to enter the otherworld. I have to say, I do prefer the way this game handles its otherworld sections compared to the last game. I swear to God, if I ever have to do another one of those fucking running segments again, I will lose my shit! In the otherworld, we'll see Josh and start chasing after him once again.
Josh! Stop!
This level is mostly made up of randomly placed rusty stairs and walkways. It's like a Gmod or Forge map made by a 10-year-old. There's not much in form of combat here, although there is one puzzle towards the end of the map. It's mostly just moving electricity through each of these fans, almost like a sliding block puzzle, but with switches instead. We find Fitch on the other side of these fans, putting lacerations all over his body. It almost seems like Josh has been taking us to where we need to go every single time. How very odd.
She's here with me now. My baby. My beautiful child. Daddy forgot to bring you a present today. She loves dolls.
Speaking to Fitch, he says that his daughter is here. So, we hand over his daughter's doll, and he begins speaking to it.
Scarlet's doll.
Daddy?
The doll then becomes gigantic and kills Dr. Fitch.
Oh my god.
God damn it, I need those fucking tetanus shots! This begins another boss fight with this porcelain doll thing, and it looks pretty creepy to be honest. But the fight itself is pretty goddamn weak. Once again, this creature only tries to slap at us as we break apart its legs. The second phase of the fight, Scarlet becomes much more agile and can climb on the walls. It's not much more difficult though, as long as you avoid when she drops down from the ceiling. After smashing the porcelain doll to pieces, we'll get sucked up into a blood puddle and wake up back at the doctor's office. We'll find a key on the ground, but because the game didn't tell us what the key is for, the developers just straight up show us where the key needs to go, all the way back to City Hall. I mean, Jesus Christ, how fucking lazy. You couldn't have put a note there that told us that this is for the City Hall? In the City Hall, we'll learn a little bit more about the backstory of the town and find out that the founders of this town were the Bartletts, the Fitches, the Holloways, and the Shepherds. And the town was initially founded so that the members could practice their faith, and that soon after its founding, the town flourished with lots of people coming to it. Using the key on the podium in the town hall will unlock a secret basement, and at the bottom of that basement we'll find a ceremonial dagger that Alex remembers seeing in his father's basement. So now it's time to head back home and unlock that basement door. Except, when you go all the way home from the front, you'll come across the front door covered in goddamn barbed wire. You see, this is actually the wrong way. Instead, in the basement of the City Hall, there's a tiny hole in the wall. You're supposed to stick that knife into it, and it'll unlock a secret way underneath the town. Now, how the fuck you were supposed to see that on first glance, I have no fucking clue. Going through those tunnels will bring you out into the cemetery, which is just a straight shot to the basement from there. In the basement, we'll find a new shotgun to replace our old one, and a key for the attic. Now, why the fuck didn't they just put all this in the attic to begin with? I have no idea. I guess they wanted a key so that we can get another goddamn key. Once we reach the attic, we'll get a flashback of Josh and our father talking.
Do you know what this is? This belonged to your grandpa, and his father too. And now we want you to have it. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is the most important thing I could ever give to you.
Is it worth $1 million?
Much more than that. This is a symbol of our family's past and our future.
Can I wear it?
Now, I'm not sure how Alex knows about this, because Alex was not present for this at all. In the attic's drawer, we'll find some military retirement papers and a sliding block puzzle, which took me fucking forever to complete. God damn, I fucking hate these! We will then find a letter from our father. It seems the order is the reason for all the missing people in the town, and Adam went to go to Silent Hill to confront them. Alex then goes and asks his mother to explain what she knows about Silent Hill.
I know all about Silent Hill.
You don't know anything about Silent Hill. Alex, I'm so sorry.
Stop pretending you care about me. Start telling me what's going on. Josh was the only one you ever cared about.
But before she can tell us, she's kidnapped by the Order. This causes the entire house to go all otherworldly, and the front door is sealed. To unlock the front door, we'll have to do 4 puzzles, each related to a member of the family. These are all fairly easy to do. The first one is related to the mother and the masks she wore, so the first one being indifference and the second one being sadness, which is her outward expression versus how she actually felt on the inside. The next one is Alex. It involves pinning 3 medals onto his jacket. The one after that is Josh, which involves setting the clock to a specific time that the town is stuck in, and placing his doll on the golden window, symbolizing that he was the golden child. The last one is your father, where you'll have to put all of his knives onto his butcher's table, including a tiny little miniature fucking pyramid head sword. I'm not sure why the fuck that's there. With all 4 of the puzzles done, we can now get out of this fucking shithole. And as soon as we walk out the door, we run right into L, which is weird because last time I checked, L was a bloody puddle on the ground. So if you're like me, you're probably wondering, what the hell happened? How did she get away? What was that bloody mess on the ground? Well, the game will never fucking tell us. Although I do have my own speculations. I think originally they may have had her being kidnapped by that bloody doctor earlier, but changed it at the last second and forgot that they needed L for the story. But that's just a theory. You know what? I'm better than this joke. What the fuck am I doing?
Elle, I thought you were...
She's gone.
Who?
My mom. I can't find her anywhere. The entire town's gone.
Elle tells us that the Playdoh lady's missing and so is everyone else. Which I guess there was more people than just the Playdoh lady, me, Elle, and the cop, I guess. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about Curtis. So I guess Curtis is missing. But just then, Wheeler calls in on the radio, and we tell him we need a ride to Silent Hill.
Alex, you there?
Wheeler, I thought we lost you.
You're not getting rid of me that easy.
We're going to Silent Hill.
We take a boat out to Silent Hill and... Wait a minute, what's that on her shoulders? Is that meant to be Alex's jacket? How did this fucking happen? Did they forget to take Alex's jacket off? Did they not want to make another model for him? Wait a minute, she's already wearing a fucking jacket too, so what the fuck? Wheeler then tells us what he knows about Silent Hill, talking about a lady cop on a bike that went missing there a long time ago.
When I decided to move east, I was looking at a job in Bronx, working with the police. At the time, they had this cop. I can't remember her name, but she'd gone to Silent Hill.
Well, what happened to her?
No one knows. Found her bike outside of town. But I'd heard rumors about the people who lived there. Let's just say they're not too friendly to people who don't share their beliefs.
He might be talking about Sybil Bennett from the first game, or maybe the movie? I'm not really sure. The reason I'm not sure is a lot of the designs come directly from the Silent Hill movie, i.e. the way Pyramid Head looks in this game, where he's super fucking jacked for some reason, or the gas mask look that all of the cultists have. These are all things that come directly from the movie. I mean, hell, even the nurse looks more like the movie version than the game version. The only real issue there is that Travis exists in this universe, and we can also find a memo later on talking about Douglas exposing the Order after the events of Silent Hill 3. Or maybe this is Douglas from Silent Hill Revelations. Nah, that movie didn't exist yet, I'm just fucking with you. Coming up to Silent Hill, the Order ambushes the boat, and Alex, proving that he is truly useless, trips and knocks himself out.
Let go of her!
We wake up on a dry lake bed, and finally we're here. Silent Hill, in a game called Silent Hill. It only took most of the fucking game to really actually get here. Great. But with that being said, I do like the fog, and I do think the town itself, as little of it as we actually do get to see, looks alright. Wheeler reaches out over the radio to tell Alex that both him and Elle have been taken to the prison.
Talk quietly, Alex. Thank God you're okay. Listen, they've taken us to the prison. It's horrible.
But we can't get into the prison because of all the electric fences. In order to take the electric fences offline, we have to head into the city power plant. In the power plant, we'll actually run into our final enemy, the Order cultists, who are, like everything else in this game, piss easy to kill. Then we do a puzzle, shutting off generators in the correct order, and bada bing, the power is out. Inside the prison, we'll have to locate Wheeler. Don't worry, buddy, I'm coming for you. It's odd how many parallels this game has to Silent Hill Downpour. Both finales take place in a prison, although to give the credit to Downpour, their prison looks far better than this half-assed one. This one's mostly just corridors with some jail cells in it. It could have just been a blank box for all it really fucking matters. We fight through some more cultists until we reach Wheeler, who is the best fucking character in this goddamn game. and weirdly enough, the most helpful AI I think I've ever seen. In fact, he's so helpful, he can take out most of the enemies by himself. Unfortunately, this buddy cop adventure has to end at some point, and Wheeler has to become a glorified door opener for us.
We need to split up. Now here's what you do. Head across the catwalk to the locked bars on the far side. Now get out of here.
The rest of the prison is pretty simple. You'll find some parts to fix a keypad. Then we'll come across Alex's mom. She seems to be stuck in this back stretching machine, I think. She asks us to put her out of her misery, and then we're given a choice.
It hurts so much. Make it stop.
Mom, I can't.
Please, Alex. Please.
Now, leaving her and not putting her down leads to 2 of the 3 bad endings and 1 of the joke endings. So putting her out of her misery is the only real way to get the good ending. So I put her down, partly because I wanted to get the good ending, and the other part of me wants to get into that back stretching machine and see how it feels.
It's okay, Alex. I love you.
The next room we come to has this nasty meat hole with these combination locks and icons on them. Each icon is represented by a riddle, and honestly, this feels kind of like a classic Silent Hill puzzle, something which we really didn't get too much of in this game. Once we solve the puzzle, the meat box will pick up and we'll have to jump down into a hole and meet up with Wheeler once again. God, I wish he was the main character.
Thank God you're alive. I was about to go Looney Tunes in this Roach Motel.
We come across Judge Holloway, who is chained down to a chair. Untying her, she reveals that the necklace that Elle gave us actually belonged to her sister.
I don't know. I'll find her, though. I promise. She said she took this from you. So I guess you should have it back.
This isn't mine. It belonged to Nora.
And then Wheeler is grabbed by something that is coming out of a, Then we are thrust into another boss fight with this disgusting human centipede thing. The fight is super goddamn easy, and I think it may actually be broken. The reason for this is if you look around the entire arena, there's all these holes. The same kind of holes that it came out of to begin with, but yet they're never used. Almost as if they were supposed to be coming in and out of those holes during the fight. Instead, we just keep hitting it over and over and over again until we jump on its back and hold its hands to death? I guess this is something I may not have mentioned in this review yet, but there are these shitty finishing moves that always constantly play with any combat encounter. It's mostly awful because the character models themselves keep sliding around while you're performing them. It just looks so janky and shitty. I don't know why the fuck they kept these finishers in the game. After we kill the human centipede creature, we'll see a glimpse of Josh, who will, you guess it, run the fuck off, and we'll have to fucking follow him again for the millionth goddamn time. He'll lead us to this weird, rusted church thing, which actually looks kind of cool. Inside the church, we'll be looking for these plates to unlock the organ, I think? At the top of the stairs, we'll come across the confessional booth. Inside it, we'll find a man who sounds very similar to Alex's dad, asking for forgiveness.
I took my role as a father and I turned it into a daily chore. Fed him, cleaned him, put him to bed. I treated the dog with more respect. And when I was given a second son, The first might as well have been a stranger sleeping in our house.
Now, this is another one of those choices that affects the end of the game. You have to forgive your father in order to get the good ending. And to be honest with you, this really pisses me off. But I cannot get into why just yet, so we're gonna hold on to that anger for a bit longer until we get to the end of the game.
If you truly want forgiveness, then you already have it.
Thank you, Father.
With all of the plates in place, we'll open up the organ to reveal Alex's father tied up with this weird pulley system. Then we get the dumbest fucking reveal of this entire goddamn game.
After all I've done, you still wear my old dog tags. That must mean something.
What are you talking about? These are mine. I'm a soldier, just like you wanted.
Alex, you've been in the hospital.
I know. I was wounded in battle.
No. A mental hospital. You've been there ever since the accident.
Yep, you heard that right. Alex was never a soldier to begin with. He was just a goddamn crazy person. Alex's dad tells us that he's been in a mental institution ever since the accident, which is very vague, by the way.
After that night, after I gave your brother this,
What is this thing? What did you do? Where's Joshua?
Alex, forgive me.
No!
So wait, they have all this pulley machinery shit and Pyramid Head just comes in and cuts them in half anyway? What the fuck is the point of these pulleys? What are they there for? Walking through the remains of your father, we'll have to put on one of those cult suits in order to walk through some steam pipes that are leaking, I guess? In the elevator, we run into Curtis, who is taking us down to the lower levels of, I think we're still in the prison? I'm not really sure where the fuck we're at.
Going down.
Then Curtis knocks us the fuck out. And then we lose the suit. What the fuck was the point of that suit? We put it on for like 5 seconds. What? Why even? Then we awaken to reveal that Judge Holloway, yes, the fucking Playdoh modeled lady, is the main villain of this game.
Family is the most important thing, Alex. I would do anything to protect them. That's why I sacrificed my daughter.
What?
The founders. They had good intentions. They left the Order to start a new life in Shepherd's Glen, where they feared the wrath of our God. So they made a pact to keep us safe. All that was required was a small sacrifice. Our children. Once every 50 years, the founding families must make an offering to appease the god. One of our children, our own flesh and blood, struck down by our own hands. I did what was required. I watched the light fade from Nora's eyes as I took her life, knowing that her death would protect our family.
God.
Protect Shepherd's
Josh.
Glen. No, Alex. One of us failed. Lacked the strength to fulfill his duty. Your father.
Yep, so Shepherd's Glen was founded off of another sect, which I think is like the 4th goddamn sect when it comes to the Order. So they made a pact with God to sacrifice their kids every 50 years, and they failed thanks to the Shepherds. Honestly, I'm a little bit tired of the cult horror when it comes to Silent Hill. With Silent Hill 3, it went back to the cult. It made sense because it was a complete follow-up of 1. Silent Hill 4, they made a new sect of the Order and followed that one all the way to its leaders. And I was like, okay, enough with the cult. We have 2 sects. We have them separating apart. We don't need any more. And then there's this game that does it the worst out of all of those other games, makes a new section of the cult to run a completely new area away from Silent Hill just to do all this bullshit all over again. Please, for the love of God, Silent Hill F, do not have the cult in there, please! Then we have to fight Judge Holloway in the most 2000s way possible through the use of button mashing. With the Playdoh lady put down, we now have to find Elle. We fight a bunch of cultists along the way and finally reach her, and see Curtis fucking around with a saw. We climb our way over and bust down the door just to kick off one of the most pathetic boss fights I've ever fucking seen. Now we have Elle with us, and all it's reminding me is that I miss Wheeler so goddamn much. Weirdly enough, Elle has no real reactions to anything. Not her dead mom, or Wheeler with a shit ton of knives stabbed into him. She's like a goddamn goldfish. We now get the last choice that affects the ending, and that's to help Wheeler. And of fucking course I'm gonna help Wheeler. What are you, fucking stupid? We leave Elle with Wheeler and hope to God he gets better. Come on, my boy, you gotta make it! Looking for Josh, we come across this puzzle with these circles that we have to line up. We have to align the circles with the corresponding sacrifice. Thankfully, Dr. Fitch left his prescription pad here, right where he was standing. Someone ought to investigate that motherfucker for medical malpractice. Once we line this up, we also have to do the same to the door. In the next room, we'll see 4 coffins, each one showing the list of the founding family's sacrifices. Scarlet Fitch, Joey Bartlett, Nora Holloway, all listed as a sacrifice. And on the last one, we'll see that Alex was meant to be the sacrifice for the Shepherd family. And honestly, if you didn't see that coming, well, maybe you should have checked to see if you were lobotomized in the beginning of the game, because that shit was spelled out everywhere we went. The game then cuts back to a flashback, showing Alex taking his brother out on a lake.
Dad never lets us out on the lake.
Not you, anyway. Dad thinks you're a little baby who can't do anything on his own.
Yeah? Then why'd he give me this?
What is that?
It's Dad's ring. But he told me not to show you, so I guess that makes me cooler.
Let me see it.
No!
What a piece of crap.
It's not. It's worth more than $1 million. That's why Dad gave it to me. Give that back!
Yep, Josh has been dead the whole fucking game. What a shock. Well, it is kind of a shock. Who would have thought that Alex, as a grown-ass man, would accidentally bully his tiny little brother to death? With that revelation done, it's now time for the final boss fight of the game. And it's with this pregnant spider lady robot thing. Very, very odd choice here. Surprisingly, this boss fight is actually quite difficult, as I have no idea how to dodge all this bullshit. Like, every time I dodge one arm, the other arm slaps me. Once we do beat this pregnant thing, we cut open its belly and Joshua falls out. Alex now has to put his brother to rest for the final time. And honestly, this is a quite sad scene. It's too bad the story of this game isn't any better, or else it would actually have the impact that it needs for this to land.
I'm sorry, Josh. Never meant for this to happen. Here, buddy. Take this. I forgot.
Then we get a scene of Elle and Alex climbing out of the sewers. Then it cuts to credits. Wait, where the fuck is Wheeler? You mean to tell me after we made a choice to save that man's life, he still doesn't live? Thankfully, we do know that Wheeler is alive. The only way we know that, though, is through getting the joke ending, because it's the only ending where we get to see Wheeler leaving.
That's where they've been taking everybody. I knew it!
And that's Silent Hill Homecoming, and boy is it a goddamn mess. I really think that this story could have been better, with just a few changes. The biggest one is they should have kept Alex in the military. Hell, maybe he joins the military because of how his family treated him, and so he runs off to the army, and that leaves his family no choice than to sacrifice Josh. That way, more of the focus could have been on monsters dealing with the Voorhees scene, kind of like Jacob's Ladder, which was one of the biggest inspirations behind the original Silent Hill games. Or hell, I mean, at least make Alex look younger in the flashbacks, so it doesn't look like a grown-ass man was bullying a child. The other thing are these choices. I really don't like that the game forces you to forgive your father, who was planning on sacrificing you for a shitty town. I really hate when media always acts like forgiveness is important or is required to move on with your life. Sometimes it should be gray. Sometimes it should be left alone. Or if you are gonna have to go for the forgiveness angle, maybe give us a reason to forgive him. We don't even really see Alex's dad until the very end of the game, giving us no personality or reason to forgive him throughout the entire fucking thing. I feel like the game was going for a metaphor of conscriptions and sending your child off to die for their home, but that actually might be a stretch. I don't know. The only thing I do know is that, just like Silent Hill Downpour, it could have used a lot more flashbacks to really flesh out its characters, or had characters speak more often.
Why are you talking to me? Aren't you supposed to be looking for your brother?
And on the topic of Downpour, these games actually share quite a lot in common. Both of them deal with the death of a young boy, both have a water motif, both have finales that take place in prisons, both have boogeymen, and both have undercooked stories. Unfortunately, it seems like Homecoming had way less time to cook than even Downpour did, making Alex come across as a piece of shit sometimes.
He kills children.
He bullies kids to death and he puts on an army uniform, but I'm a soldier. Never been in a war zone in his life.
As far as gameplay is concerned, when it comes to both 7th generation Silent Hill games, they suffer from terrible combat. If I had to choose one with a gun to my head, I guess I would choose Silent Hill Downpour, cause at least during some of those fights, I felt like I could die. Silent Hill Homecoming comes off as a button masher most of the time, and none of their enemies come off as scary because of it. And that's a shame, because to be honest with you, Silent Hill Homecoming has much better monster designs than Silent Hill Downpour ever did, especially when it comes to the bosses. Some of these things look downright fucking gruesome. Homecoming also has better music than Downpour did, being the last Silent Hill game that Akira Yamaoka ever worked on. Or at least it was at the time. Unfortunately though, the audio mixing is all kinds of whack.
I had a bad dream. Never mind. It's nothing.
And that doesn't just extend to the music either. Some of the voice work is downright terrible.
No. Your father went to look for him. But now he's gone. Everyone's gone.
Then there's the presentation of the game. Some of the locations look alright, and then some locations look like shit. Some character models look alright, and some look absolutely fucking atrocious. This game is a mixed bag through and through. So, is Silent Hill Homecoming the worst Silent Hill game? Well, no. I mean, have you fucking seen Silent Hill Ascension?
She thinks I'm bad.
Did you do something bad?
Do you think I'm bad?
Wait! Don't shoot! Please!
What are you doing out here? You could have been killed.
I'm just foraging for wild berries. I swear.
That shit makes Plinko machines look good. But when it comes to the mainline Silent Hill games, yes, It is by far the worst one. I don't blame the developers though. I do believe this is all the fault of Konami. Had they have given them more time to cook, or kept Team Silent working on this project, it could have been a good game, or even just an alright game. But as it stands though, it's god awful. God damn it! You're not eating me, asshole! Fuck off!
Fuck you then, I'm not even that hungry. Whatever.
Thank God it's finally over. Wait a minute. Is that Fu? Oh God, Fu, thank God I found you. So, does this mean I'm not gay, right?
Oh, Poco, I know what I said. But the truth is, we were gay the whole time, brother.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Oh, mama.
It seems my dreams are always filled with shadows. So I try my best never to fall asleep. But there are times I can't keep my eyes open. Then I'm a victim to these demons that I keep. But last night I dreamed I heard my mama calling, and I know I saw my daddy's gentle smile